Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aviana. This is Aviana's Ascension, and today we are doing a collective reading for the full moon in Aries we have on October 6th. So September was a wild time, right? We had a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse. There was a lot of releasing and big realizations and really getting focused and organized. So I feel like this full moon in Aries is going to be all about like, okay, now that you realize what it is you want to go towards, in the little day-to-day steps you can take. Now let's really get into it. Let's really take that action. Let's get motivated, get inspired, really figuring out what you're passionate about and taking intentional action. Okay, so let's talk about it a bit. If you would like to skip ahead to the reading, I have the timestamp in the comments below, so you can just skip past this part. We're going to read a little bit about the full moon in Aries and just talk about that energy a little bit more. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very exciting time, a very ambitious, motivating time, but it's also going to be a time of releasing inauthenticity. Like what relationships, what habits, lifestyles, what actions are you taking or not taking that are not in alignment with what it is you actually want to create in this beautiful life. Okay. When I was shuffling the cards, the Four of Cups came out and the Page of Cups. So there's definitely a shift in perspective that is needed when it comes to something that is very creative, intuitive, inspiring. I feel a lot of you are going towards something new or something that you may not have as much experience in. And that can be very intimidating, of course. That's a normal human response. But a shift in perspective is needed. Be grateful that you have a new opportunity to learn and grow. And I think a big theme as well that's been happening these past few months is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, falling in love with the learning, with the unknown phase of something. Okay. Because whenever you know you're working in your purpose or your heart is speaking to you, your intuition, you're never going to be led astray. Okay. So, what needs to happen with that process to provide more comfort in it is being okay with saying, like, okay, I know this is my main goal, the main thing. I don't know how to get there. Never been there before. Have no idea what that path looks like, but I'm going to trust it. And I'm going to be excited about learning and, you know, peeling back different layers of myself, learning about something that I can do or something that may take more time for me to learn about. Just because something is unfamiliar or hard doesn't mean it's not meant for you. And it doesn't mean you're on the wrong path or you're making the wrong mistake or you're making a mistake. You know what I mean? And I like that I said wrong mistake because making mistakes is a part of growth. It's a part of learning and going towards new things. So be okay with making mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's gonna, pick up a bike immediately and know how to ride it. That's what training wheels are for. So be okay with having training wheels. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we have this full moon in Aries, and it says a fiery climax approaches. Very exciting. So yeah, I definitely feel like things are coming full circle here. And I feel like a lot of epiphanies may be happening during this full moon. So let's talk about it. It's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me, me, me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants, but you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created the situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. Very interesting. I like this. It definitely has more of a perspective of you dealing with another person, but this could also be you dealing with your own inner world, dealing with your own, like not being sensitive to your own needs, like maybe there's an inner child wound, a scarcity mindset that needs to be addressed. But are you doing it with love and compassion, or are you just doing it with shame or guilt or pushing or blocking? You know what I mean? So whether it's with another person or a different aspect of yourself, how can you bring in more softness, more understanding, especially with yourself? Because these different versions of us pop out to help us, to provide us with safety and security. The ego, the shadow, the brain, they just use past experiences to decide if something's good or not. And if you're going towards something that's new, their knee-jerk reaction is to say, no, back it up, we're not doing that. That's normal, that's their job. But your job as a conscious human with a soul, with intuition, with a gut, your job is to sit with those versions of you, sit with this person that may be opposing you, and just provide them with understanding from love and acceptance. It's not about trying to change the story or force or control, but it's about meeting the opposition with understanding. All right. Attune to the moon. Be nice, be kind, smile, and be polite as you navigate to where you want to be. Absolutely. Insinuating that you're going to get where you want to be. But do you want that to be an uphill battle the whole time, or do you want to kind of coast and flow and feel good? It doesn't have to be like this white knuckle, like, situation. It can be easy, it can be chill, but you have to allow that energy to come through. Additional meanings for this card. Being assertive is good, just don't ride roughshod over anyone. I need to know where this person is from. It sounds like roughshod. I've never even heard that word. Is that like a British term? Anyways, we'll figure it out. If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace. Absolutely. Don't be a baby. Sorry, but this could be the issue. Hey, you gotta be real. You need to have more fun. And the teaching. The full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare and with rash comments or decisions. I like this. So I feel like with this full moon in Aries, it is about taking action, and Aries is all about taking action and getting it done. But I think this is also a time to welcome softness and welcome ease and slowness, because full moons are also about releasing and getting clear on what wasn't working, whereas new moons are all about, okay, let's manifest, let's make something happen. What do we want with this fresh start? So this can be a time of just kind of taking a step back, meditating, and figuring out what works for you. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just, or is about to, come to a peak, perhaps in a rather heated way. There could be a price to pay if you have been too competitive or too blunt. Okay. So I definitely feel like the energy of, being too rash, competitive, blunt, whatever, I think that does stem from fear or insecurity, right? Whenever you're not sure if something's going to work out, if somebody's going to respect you, if you're safe, you're going to act like a wild animal in a cage. You're going to try to get out, get free, get safe in whatever way. That goes back to that ego, that shadow, that brain, that reptilian brain. So I think that this is going to be a time to recognize like where that insecurity is within you and where it's stemming from, where does it live, what's the root of it. So that way you're not, bulldozing over everybody and making enemies on your way to the top. We want to do more. We want to be mindful. Okay. How's this incense going? Let me light this up a little bit more. Now, while I'm doing this, everyone take a sip of water. I always like to tell you guys to drink water whenever I'm taking a moment to do some technical stuff. But it's good to stay hydrated, All right, cheers. Okay, now we got it going. Okay, so I've got 2 decks for our full moon reading today. So this glow in the dark deck is going to be about kind of our shadow side. So we'll see. I think a big part of this is noticing like what part of you is being a little bit more aggressive, or what may be popping off, what may be coming to a head. So we'll see about that. And then we have the Light Seers deck over here to kind of see like, okay, if all of this discomfort is happening, what's the point of it? How is it serving you? How can you have grace with it and embody it even more? I got to write down when I'm starting the reading too. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, let's see what's going on with this reading. Okay, so bottom of the deck, we do have the Magician here, the Ace of Cups, the Star card. Beautiful. So first of all, dreams are coming true. Fulfillment is happening. Healing is happening. This is feeling really, really good. And this does feel like a new start, a new opportunity. There could be new love or just going towards your dreams and what really makes you happy. This is really believing in yourself as well, connecting with the universe, as within, so without. You know the deal. But we do have the Four of Cups, the Strength card here. So yeah, there's definitely a shift of perspective that's needing to happen. I think that some of you are just really like trying to be really headstrong and be really brave and really courageous, which is beautiful. But in order to tap into this energy, a level of softness is required. You know what I mean? Like this is with the Ace of Cups, not the Ace of Wands, right? There's softness, there's flow, there's trust that is happening here. And I think that might be the component that you're missing, which can breed insecurity or acting out or acting aggressively in order to get where you want to be, you know? We do have Justice, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. Beautiful. So I feel like there needs to be more balance between that animal side and the higher self. And that's also what the Strength card is all about. But I feel like you might be operating in the lion energy a bit more. So definitely bringing more balance to just the different energies and the different aspects of yourself that are needed to help you move forward on this path, right? Like we need that soft self. We need that feminine energy. We also need the masculine energy, and we need to take action. So beautiful. But Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, everything's going to work out. And especially from the Ace to the 10, I feel like it is going to happen a lot faster, especially if you allow that balance within yourself. Okay, fierce. Let's get into it. All right, Spirit, talk to us. Tell us what's going on. Full moon in Aries. And this is, oh, okay, hold on. Okay, all right. And this is a reading for all signs. So, of course, just take what feels right for you. Okay, we do have the Seven of Pentacles, the Fool, the Ace of Swords, the World, and the Ten of Swords. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's definitely something coming to a close here with the Ten of Swords, the World. This is something that does not need your energy anymore. You could feel like this, or maybe you're trying to like push something away, kind of ignore something. That's very possible as well. But yeah, it does feel like out with the old, in with the new, because we also have the Ace of Swords and the Fool card. That's so funny to me. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords, Ten of Swords, a beginning and an ending. The Fool, first major arcana. In the World, last major arcana. So there's big cycles closing out, starting anew. Big, big stuff happening here. But with the Seven of Pentacles, a level of patience is required. Okay, Spirit's letting you know you're planting seeds and things are going to start growing for you. Like you're going through a transition right now. Okay. So it feels like I want to know more about this Ten of Swords, the World card, because obviously something is happening and it feels positive, but I want to know if the Ten of Swords, the World, if it's you ignoring an aspect of yourself, or maybe there's certain people, beliefs that you need to move on from. Let's see. Tell me more about the Ten of Swords and the World card here. Can I just say I love doing tarot? I love doing tarot readings. I love what I do. I just have to share that. Okay, we have the Death, the Tower, and the Page of Cups. Ooh. Okay. It feels like you're trying. Okay. It feels like you're trying to either stifle something that you're very passionate about, something that is very creative, it makes your heart sing. Or you could be trying to ignore the fact that you feel uncomfortable being a beginner, being a novice with something. Okay, like I just said, we all got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Like some people are born with amazing talents, but a lot of people take a lot of time and dedication to really hone in on these skills. You know what I mean? Like LeBron James, great basketball player, but he didn't just like, now mind you, I don't know a lot about his background or his story, but he did not just, be born and was like, born with the basketball and like, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, yes, that's a very, very talented person, but he had to harness that skill. You know what I mean? He had to go to the gym. He had to go play basketball. He had to focus. That's how you get drafted out of high school. Not by dilly-dallying, not by being scared to have to learn or being scared to make a mistake. you know? This might be an inner child wound as well. Like you might have like issues with worthiness, your self-esteem, because why are you so scared to not make to make a mistake? Why are you so scared to make a mistake? You know, you are worthy and capable and deserving, whether you make 1,000 mistakes or you make none. You know what I mean? And making mistakes is such an important part of this journey because that's how you learn. You don't learn by being perfect all the time, you know? Some of you guys could be dealing with a Scorpio, or you could be a Scorpio. And Scorpio is all about like your shadow work, transformation. So I do think there's some inner child healing that needs to be done here, or at least some healing when it comes to trusting your intuition and going towards what makes your heart happy. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's inner child healing with the Six of Cups for sure. Because you know your truth, you know what you're about, and it's time for you to embrace that and allow this new chapter to start. But I feel like you're stuck in the past, so it's really causing a lot of delays here. Okay, let's see. Tell me more about the Page of Cups. I don't know why I just feel like so happy to be here today. Like I'm just like, I can't believe it, tarot. I love it. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Yeah, you need to start celebrating the fact that you get to start a new journey. You know what I mean? Like, it's like being annoyed when you're on a flight and you're about to go to like a beautiful vacation. Like, yeah, no one likes to fly, you know, like no one wants to be up in the air and, you know, having to have a long flight. No one wants to do that. But if you focus on like, oh, I hate that I'm here, this freaking sucks, then it's going to make the vacation suck. And it's going to be like, what a weird way to start, you know? But if you're on that flight and you got your little music, you're reading a nice book, maybe you're with friends and you're like, woo, we're gonna go on a trip. You know what I mean? Like that makes it a lot more fun. So be excited about the fact that you're starting a new journey. And the fact that another page is showing up, you know, like it's okay to not know what you're doing. It's okay to question or be uncertain, but don't let that stop you. And don't let embarrassment for being wrong or being confused stop you either. You know what I mean? Like, this is a beautiful, gorgeous opportunity for you to be able to rediscover, to learn, to see things differently. You need to celebrate it. Okay? Yeah, it's like you're needing more nurture, more love for yourself, for your inner child. I think the feminine energy needs to come out here. You need to trust your intuition, but definitely more self care for sure. Okay. Tell me more about the Tower and the Death card here. I want to know a little bit more about that. Ooh. We have the Knight of Swords. I love this knight. And I teach a tarot circle. It's not really me teaching, it's me like telling people, trust your intuition and let's read some cards together, you know? But the Knight of Swords came out because I always start by giving myself a reading first and just showing them like how I do it and how I flow. And I was like, you know what, the Knight of Swords, why is he the fastest knight? And someone was like, truth. And I was like, yes, he follows his truth. Like he's a truth teller, but he's also following his morals, his values, and what he believes is his authenticity. When that is what's guiding you, there should never be hesitation. There should never be questioning. You know what I mean? Like I'm on YouTube all the time, okay? And my readings don't get a lot of views, but I know one day they will. You know what I mean? And I know that there's a lot I need to learn when it comes to reading and pulling cards and all that stuff. So I'm okay with this slow growth. Remember the turtle one, not the hare. Take your time. Be okay with people, you know, and I'm sure the hare was like, haha, look at this turtle, he's so slow, da, 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 da. And guess who won? Okay? You need to trust yourself. You need to trust yourself and give that animal instinct, that fear, that scarcity, whatever it is, give that a break, please. Okay. All right. Tell me more about the Seven of Pentacles. We're getting through this pretty quick. Maybe because I'm excited. Yeah. With the I almost said Three of Swords. With the Three of Wands, they're saying like at the end of the day, you're on the path. Whether you choose to go forward, whether you choose to go backwards, or you choose to just stay still, you're on the path. So you might as well embrace it. Go towards this new beginning, this new chapter, take your steps, and just know that you're going to be okay, you know? And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like, yeah, you're planting your seeds, and eventually you're going to be where you want to be. But trust, have patience, and know that like it's unfolding exactly how it's meant to. Like you're not meant to go from A to Z. All right? There's 24 letters in between that, 24 steps at minimum, right? So it's like, have fun at B, see what F's about. Ooh, Q, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like you got to appreciate every step of the journey, because every step of the journey helps you get ready to be at that Z. You know what I mean? If you were ready to be there, you'd be there. So be okay with not being ready and have gratitude for that learning and unlearning. You know what I mean? Like I know a big part of why my business isn't popping like I want it to be is because I have struggles with feelings of unworthiness. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to book me a Reiki session, and I'm going to be more intentional about not just doing spiritual work for myself and for people on YouTube and my clients, but also allowing other spiritual guides to work with me. No one's perfect, and that's the beauty, because then we get to learn different things about ourselves. Be okay with that. Yeah. It's time for you to follow your heart and be balanced. Yeah. All right. Let's look into the Ace of Swords and the Fool, and then we'll get into the Light Seers deck. I think that's a good start off. Tell me more about the Ace of Swords and the Fool. The Two of Swords. Yeah. See, what you don't see coming and what you're potentially blocking by not allowing yourself to be in that inner child energy and to make mistakes. You don't see that a new beginning is coming your way. I think you could be all doom and gloom right now, which I understand that. I get like that sometimes too, because whenever you're not seeing the progress you want to see, or you feel like something's taking a long time, or you feel like, this is never going to happen, like it's very easy to get in your head about it. But when you do that, it blocks the energy that's meant to come your way. There's new beginnings here ready for you, but you have to allow yourself to stumble and fall on the way there. It doesn't mean they're going to take longer to get there. It doesn't mean you're not worthy. If anything, if you allow yourself to make mistakes and, do that inner child work, whatever you got to do, it helps you get there faster. You know what I mean? So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Yeah, it's time for you to have love for that part of you that's blocking that. It's just trying to keep you safe, and that's its job. But like I said earlier, your job as a conscious human with a soul and intuition is to show that part of you that you are safe. And to say like, hey girl, hey guy, hey dude, whatever, hey person, I hear you, give that part of you a name, whatever, and just say, I hear you, I love you, I appreciate you, but we're still going to do this. So hopefully you can come along for the ride, recognize that you're safe, and it's going to be okay. I wouldn't lie to you. It is going to be okay. Okay, let's get into the Light Seers deck now and just see kind of like, what are these beautiful new beginnings coming through? How can you embody this novice energy and this inner child energy and follow your truth even more? Let's see. Okay, bottom of the deck. I love it. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Nine of Cups. So you could be seeing a lot of nines right now. But look at that. There's fulfillment. There's clarity. You're going to be self-sufficient. You're going to be thriving, feeling really good. Like this is you totally following your heart, following your truth, and it ends up really well for you. So love that. We have the Lovers, the Six of Swords, the High Priestess, the Four of Wands, the Emperor. Yeah, there's that Aries energy with the Emperor. So this is definitely coming through. In order for us to trust our intuition, be more balanced, and allow us to recognize that like we're not in a small body anymore. We're not in high school, middle school, elementary school being bullied anymore. We're not in our childhood home being tortured by our parents or whatever. Hopefully that was not the case. That was a bit extreme. And I'm sorry if that was the case for you, but you're not there anymore. Okay. You are in a different space, in a different energy, in a different time, in a different body. Allow your nervous system to recognize that, because it's not fair for you to stay in that space and sacrifice what it is that kept you dreaming for a new chance, dreaming for a new life. You got that new life. You're living it. So let's act accordingly. Okay. All right, Spirit, let's talk about it. So let's talk about just how can we embrace this inner child energy, embrace, like, how can we be okay with making mistakes and not knowing how to do everything? Let's start there. Okay. There we go. They're all falling on the ground. Ah! Okay. Let's see. I look crazy. I just had to make sure I got them all. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. All right. We have the Seven of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Star, and the King of Pentacles. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay, so with the Page of Wands and Seven of Wands, it's like, first of all, recognize that you're protected, right? The thing that Spirit likes to protect the most is like children and pure spirits, right? Because they are very much needed on this earth. Okay. So know that Spirit is not going to set you up for failure and be like, ha ha, like maybe that happened in the past. Maybe people you knew did that to you. But Spirit's not going to do that to you. So recognize that you are so safe. You are so uplifted. You are above the BS. You can go towards what it is you want to go towards, and it is okay to make mistakes and not know everything. Okay. And some of you guys, maybe like a part of that, like aggressiveness, is maybe people were trying to give you guidance and you were not being receptive to it, because that kind of hit a nerve for you and you were like, well, I don't want to be told what to do. I want people to trust me and know that I can do it. You can do it. But everyone has help. Even LeBron, his family was saying, hey, you got to get up in there and get it done, because it's not just for you, it's for all of us. And that's a lot of pressure. But that's why you have support. That's why you have village, a community, loved ones. And if you don't, hey, reach out to me. I'll be your community. I don't care. I don't got nothing going on. That's not true. I got a lot going on, but I will make time. Okay. Because I love you all. And so does Spirit. Because at the end of the day, once you get there, you're going to be a lot wiser. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is a king. You were showing up as a page just now. You're going to get there. You're going to learn everything it is you need to learn. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be okay. You just have to lean into faith and let the universe support you. And the universe will send people to support you, resources to support you. Trust in that. Okay, that's fierce. I like that energy. All right, so tell us more about, I want to ask a different question now. That's how to embrace that. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands here. So definitely some shadow work is needed. That's what just flipped over just now. And just also recognizing that you are very strong and magnetic and charming. Like, you can make something work for yourself. All right, so let's talk about just the positives of following this path and letting people help you and recognizing you're protected and safe to follow your heart and your dreams. Okay, that's crazy. All right. Ooh, what? We have the Five of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so thank you, Spirit. They just said, like, you're going to learn how to navigate difficulties with more ease, right? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be very busy and there's going to be a lot unfolding before you. So, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be highs and lows. But this journey is going to help you learn how to prioritize. Like you can pay attention to whatever you want to pay attention to. So if it's something that makes you feel bad or doesn't serve you, you're going to learn to say, like, okay, let me put that over there. You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of like what I was saying earlier, like with the shadow version of you, like just saying, like, okay, hey, girl, or whatever, I see you're here. I appreciate you. I love you, but I'm still going to do this. I feel like that's what you're going to learn during this journey. And that's such an important tool. That's a game changer. That's how you really succeed in life, by not letting the version of you that's so scared dictate how you move. Okay. Yeah, it's like you're not going to let anything stop you. And even if it gets heavy or hectic, you're just going to be like, well, I'm going to keep it moving and do what I came here to do. All right. Fierce, fierce. Okay. All right. So let's see. I feel like a lot of us have started the journey. All right, let's go ahead and start clarifying some of this. Okay, tell me more about the Star card and the King of Pentacles. I want to know more about that. This is really sweet. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. I love that a lot. So you're saying, like, you are safe to dream big. You are safe to plant seeds. You are safe. Okay? There's been so much you've been through. Of course, you're going to have fear. That's normal. But Spirit is confirming for you in so many ways that, like, you're going to have the resources, the wisdom. There's nothing to worry about. So I would definitely tap into some self-care, meditate, just love on yourself, nurture yourself in whatever ways, so that way you realize you're safe now. It doesn't have to be a struggle, a fight. You don't have to fight with yourself all the time. I definitely suggest doing like some sort of breath work or like an emotional release guided meditation. Those are some of my favorite things that I've been doing recently, just breathing into my body and noticing where's the tension, where's the buzzing, the energy. Not trying to change it, not trying to label it, just feeling it. And that's allowing this energy to flow through me, where at one point it got cut off. It got stuck because it wasn't safe to be released and felt. But now I'm in a big body and I can do that. And you can too. All right, tell me more about the Seven of Wands, Page of Wands. Four of Swords, Ace of Pentacles too, because I feel like all of that is just like you're safe to grow, you're safe to have dreams and go towards them, you know. We have the Lovers, the Six of Swords, the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups. Absolutely. Spirit is saying, please follow your heart. And look, like these little ravens or whatever are like guiding the boat, and that's kind of representing like your angels guiding you. Follow your heart, follow your intuition. You're going towards so much fulfillment, so much joy, so much happiness, so much clarity. Allow yourself to go towards it. And this does talk about leaving behind something that was very chaotic and hectic, whether that was certain relationships, environments, lifestyles, inner dialogue, you know. You're leaving it behind. And you're going towards so much beauty, so much peace and ease. It's deserved. You know, it's a birthright, by the way. It's not something you have to work for. And maybe you were told this growing up or at a certain time in your life that, you know, you had to prove your worthiness and fight for it all or whatever. But that doesn't have to be your story anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like we're letting go of the selfishness, whether it's within us, whether it's in others. We're just letting it go and really allowing ourselves to trust ourselves and tap into our emotional, you know, self and our truth and our authenticity, and walking away so we can go towards new beginnings that are fulfilled. new beginnings that are centered in fulfillment and being proud of yourself and other people being proud of you and celebrating you. It's beautiful. I love it. All right, let's see. Anything else here for this full moon in Aries? We have the Two of Wands and the Chariot. Beautiful. It's like it's your decision. You're on the path. You're either gonna go forward, go backwards, or stay still. You're saying it's up to you. You've got the protection. You're gonna have the wisdom. You already have your intuition and your heart pulling you in a direction. Are you gonna listen to it or not? It's up to you. Yeah, follow your heart, follow your truth, follow your passion. And let people help you, okay? All right, we're going to close it out with some oracle messages, and that'll be that. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, let me know with a like, a comment. Definitely subscribe, share the video with a friend. All of that helps the channel grow, and I'm always so grateful. Thanks. And if you guys would like more from these full moon, new moon readings, I definitely suggest going to my website, avianasascension.com. It is linked down below. And that's where you can sign up for my newsletter. So whenever I send out these readings, I always pair it with a ritual that I create. And then I pair it with like a meditation, a yoga video, or just something informative like Reiki healing, something like that, to take this reading a step further. So if you want a full moon, new moon ritual to go with these readings, sign up for my newsletter. Get into it. All right. Final bit for the collective for this full moon in Aries. Please and thank you. Alrighty. Okay. So we have balanced spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces, and we just had a full moon in Pisces lunar eclipse on September 7th. So maybe this is going to kind of bring kind of full circle some of the things that you were experiencing during that time. Maybe there were certain intentions that you set, and then maybe they haven't come to fruition. Maybe they have. I would just reflect on September 7th and see if anything interesting has been happening there. But this is also about, like not being too daydreamy, but also, like listening to your intuition, but then putting in some sort of practical practice, like taking action, making a to-do list, making a pros and cons list, gathering resources, asking people for guidance. It's not just about, oh, let me manifest this or let me, meditate on it. It's also how can I, right? Because we're on earth to bring together the practical and the spiritual. That's the whole point of being a human. So how can you do this with whatever this goal is or whatever you're working towards? And then step out of your comfort zone, North Node, absolutely. It's time for you to step out of your comfort zone, let people help you, recognize that you're going to be safe. It's okay to make mistakes and just get it going. You're on the path. You might as well walk it. And the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Yeah, see, like something is coming to a head here. I do feel like it's more about your feelings of distrust rather than you with anyone else. Okay. And maybe it's been playing out with someone, with a relationship with someone. But I think overall there's just distrust within, and it's time to work on that. It's time to work on that. All right. Okay. That is your full moon in Aries reading. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys would like more from me, I do have all of my social media down below. I also have my website, like I said before. If you would like a personal reading, sign up for that newsletter. Or to get a soul alchemy ceremony, my favorite thing, it's where we work through your shadow, kind of help you let go of the past to welcome in the new and remind you of your power. Okay, so if any of that sounds interesting to you, go down to the description box below. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.